Hello and welcome to another update video about AVAX. Yeah, AVAX, there isn't really much I can add to AVAX, to the previous analysis, to the chart. The micro support level obviously broke, but it hasn't broken, price hasn't sustained below it. But as I already suggested in the last video, it is very likely that we're going to do a reset of the wave 4 here a little lower. So I'll take the micro support level of the chart. I think at the moment, there is still a chance for one more high, but obviously with a break below $39, and I know we are still above 39, but to be honest, it's looking quite weak right now. But against $29, it's still possible to get that one more high. There were a couple of support levels on the chart. The first one was 39. The second one that's really meaningful is 29. So whenever I have two support levels above each other, I would usually measure my risk against the lower one. But this is not the clearest chart anyway. I mean, this is not a really good trade setup here at the moment. There isn't one really, in my opinion, that's attractive because the chart isn't very clear. It's now possible that this is a wave 4, especially after breaking micro support. It's possible that this is now a wave 4 or already the B wave, okay? And then the top is already in, okay? That's possible. So very much possible that this A wave here, whatever, I need to change it later. 1 second. So that this A wave has already topped, okay? And the B wave is already unfolding now. So then we would be dealing with a larger ABC structure over the coming weeks. That's entirely possible, okay? So at the moment, it's catching the falling knife. Basically, what needs to happen, we need to see a first reaction to a support level. And obviously, the first Fibonacci support that we've got now on the chart here is 35.71. And in addition to that, we have some structural support down here, just above that, around $36.60. Now, you need to be careful because this could turn into, it's not very well defined, but this could turn into a head and shoulders pattern, okay? Which could send it down lower, obviously, here with a neckline around that sort of $37 level, yeah? $37, $38. Not a very clear chart. At the moment, I'm watching if this is a wave 4. If this is a wave 4, then this is likely just simply an A wave, an overshooting B wave, and the C wave down. And it is valid against $29 to still watch for a fifth wave. But yeah, I mean, look at the length now. Duration, this is the wave 2 down here. This is the wave 4. It's just way longer. It's out of proportion. Yeah, so also, even if we were to say that the wave 3 is up here, first of all, I would have a problem with the subwave structure because the last bit looks like a 3-wave move up. But even then, it comes down quite aggressively compared to the wave 2. It's sort of out of proportion. Yeah, and therefore, I can only say $29 is for me the key support. Below that level, I would rule out the wave 4. So at the moment, one more high in a wave 5 within the current pattern of an A wave, still possible. But below $29, the assumption would be that this is a B wave pullback. And for the B wave pullback, which is just a larger corrective pullback in an even larger corrective pattern, which would result in a C wave rally, well, this could be quite a substantial pullback, obviously, with support levels at $25.57, $20.78, $16.89, or even $12.57, even though we don't need to go down that low, absolutely not. The bottom line is that as long as we're holding $12.57, another C wave rally is a reasonable interpretation. So higher prices generally still expected, but we are far away from that support area anyway. Also, it depends on the structure that the price is now developing. I haven't seen enough structure to really confirm what it is. If we see a clear and more extended correction over the coming days, maybe even weeks, then we can say with greater clarity that this is a B wave. So at the moment, I can only tell you, okay, it's either wave 4 or B. I assume that they are corrective pullbacks, so trend continuation in one form or another is still preferred, either in wave 5, then we get that pullback, then we go up, or we get that pullback now and then go up later, okay? So I think there is quite a lot of uncertainty at the moment on this chart compared to the possible reward, because the next Fibonacci level to the upside points towards $54. And I'm not sure if we get above that level. That's going to be critical. It's a critical level, because if we look at the history on this chart, we had significant support in January 22, and it was also the breakthrough point in May 22, and we had significant resistance in February 21. So it's going to be a key level there to watch. And even if we trigger it, I mean, yeah, surely it can go to 54, but I'm confident we have much better setups around at the moment. I shared a bunch today in the membership, which give us clearer parameters. I mean, even here you could say, you know, if that's too much uncertainty for you, you could say, okay, look, I have support down here at 1257. I've got my position size. I will just dollar cost average in to 1257, obviously with a defined position size, largest position size as close as possible to the low down there, to the lowest support area. But that's not a comfortable, you know, way for most people, especially given that this move up is very ambiguous. It's not a clear impulse, so I wouldn't suggest this here. So yeah, we have to just wait for the market to give us a little bit more clarity if this is a wave 4 or a B wave. At the moment, it's catching the falling knife. If, you know, it makes sense, it might make sense to watch for a first small impulse or a first small reaction to a support area anyway. In case anybody still plans to go long here on this one, but it's getting quite messy now with that deep pullback. Literally not much more to add. So there is a bit of uncertainty. However, the levels, yeah, the Fibonacci levels, as well as the resistance, so support and resistance levels, they are very clearly defined. And against them, you can position yourselves if you want to, and they define the risk very clearly. So just make sure that you have your position sizing according to general risk management practices. But yeah, it's a pullback at the moment, and there's currently no confirmation that that pullback is over. And if we look at the indicators, I mean, see, it's now come down to nearly 50 on the RSI. I mean, there's typically a little bit of support around 50, but if we break below it, I mean, that would probably be that confirmation that we'd like to have. I mean, a sustained break that we're in the B wave, because if it can maintain below 50, then this is a larger pullback most likely, okay? Because now it's been above 50 for a while. See, really when it started. And before that, I mean, really had difficulties throughout this entire decline to maintain above 50. So that's going to be important to observe over the coming days and weeks. That's my update about AVAX. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.